interesting thing here in Tampa is the influences from Miami come up. Y'all kept it very New York hip hop based.
Well, because at that time, it wasn't that we were sweating the North. It's just that that's where 80, 90% of the hip hop records was coming out of. So it wasn't really West versus the East or South versus the North. It was just like, if you like hip hop, you love New York because 90% of the artists are from New York. And that's, you know, everybody knows it started in the Bronx. It went for about 5, 6 years before a record was made by anybody who wasn't in New York. So, yeah, you know, these days, if you say New York is the birthplace of hip hop, people argue, nah, it didn't get fly until NWA got in it. It wasn't strong until Tupac said it. It wasn't moving until Luke did it. It didn't have no ass in it. It was corny until Luke did it. Whatever. For 5 or 6 years, it didn't exist nowhere but New York. From 77 to 84, the only artist that did hip hop music was New York because it was a small little cult thing in the 5 boroughs at first. And then Philly, then Boston, then Florida, then West Coast, then Atlanta, you know, then Louisiana, then Midwest, do or die, then Chicago. It took years for it to go there, but imagine in 1980, if you like hip hop, for the next 4 years, your hip hop always came out of New York because all those artists were from New York. There was a long time when it was only New York. When it was West Coast, it was also New York and South. When it was South, it was also North and this. But for a long time, it was only New York for 5 years. So for 10 years, even if you go back into the 70s. So there's no other coast or city that can boast that. New York City is the birthplace of hip hop. And it didn't leave hip hop till it was 7 or 8 years old as a child. And then the West Coast and the South blessed it as a teenager. And now as a grown ass man, hip hop wears jewelry. And you know, hip hop is rich. It's a rich nigga now because it's a grown ass man. But when hip hop was a little child, it grew up in New York. Yep.
So when you started rhyming again, mid-'80s, what were some of the earliest gigs here in the Tampa area, and what was the response like?
The first gigs that we used to do, we were for hire, master blasters, mobile DJs. We was just like phase 2. Our blueprint was phase 2. Phase 2 was Master G's clique before they became Sugar Hill Gang. It was just mobile DJs. You get a U-Haul, put your speakers and your turntables in it and all your crates of records, whatever your crew fit in the car, and then y'all ride out and rock people's parties. Sometimes it was somebody's birthday party, sometimes it was a wedding. Then when we got finished making our money off of people hiring us, then we would throw a jam on Sundays for free in Riverfront Park. Riverfront Park in Tampa was the gathering. Whether it was DJ there or not, it was still 1,000, 2,000 people in the park. Cars used to line all the streets leading up to the park. And that's where it was just like a fashion show, a barbecue. It was just like a weekly gathering. And the city wouldn't pay for it, but they would let us do it. So we would just get a long extension cord and set our turntables up. We had 4 turntables, the radio records set for DJ Kush, the blend records, the popular records, and then the Gemini Newmark mixer set for the backspinning, which had the glide slip mats underneath. And so we had a long table, you know, 4 or 5 MCs who wasn't even in digital, we let them bust. If you bust, bust. And it was good response. We used to have it cracking. It was in them days when Kenny K was just a little shorty in the audience. And that's why he, you know, knew me as Shock G after I retired out of that and pulled me back into it. Thanks to you, Kenny, there is a Digital Underground and a Humpty Hump and a Piano Man and all that, because without them hip hop records, who knows where I would have wound up. I might have just wound up being a bass player in Prince's group or something. And yeah, I owe a lot to Kenny, man, for making me not give up on hip hop at a time when I was kind of getting tired of it. I'm a little older than Kenny, by the way. Kenny, Tupac, Money B, Scoob and Scrap, Scooby D, all them cats, they were like 18 when I was 25. So yeah, I was about 7 or 8 years older than them. So I'm part of the old school wave of hip hop. When I thought I was the dopest MC on the planet was 79, 78. That's when I felt I could eat anybody on the planet. That's when the dopest MCs was Busy B, Chief Rocker, Busy B, Melly Mel, Grandmaster Caz. Records wasn't out yet. By the time records came around, I was already an over-the-hill rapper. That's what made me do so many different things, characters, and stick to the keys, and yeah, I got Shock G, but I also got Humpty. But when it was really time to serve somebody in a ballad at a party, we passed the microphone off to K-Bar, Kenny K, Money B, Tupac, the younger generation.
Did you bring those artists here at the park and anything like that? Tupac, Kenny, and all them?
Riverfront Park was before Kenny.
Okay.
Nah, Riverfront Park was MC Starchild, AKA DJ Shock G. That's when I was a DJ. MC K-Bar from Brooklyn. DJ Flame from the Bronx. MC Ronnie Ron from Newark, New Jersey. His real name's Omar, Ronald Everett. And DJ Kush. That was the original when we were DJing around Tampa. By the time Kenny K came along, we were studio rappers, but we wasn't doing shows and we wasn't doing parties for hire no more.
Okay.
We would bust at a hip hop competition. The few of those that Tampa had. We was in Battle of the Bands on WTMP, and my band didn't make it. Kenny K's tapes didn't make it. When he had the Chill Factor, him and Doc P and Scooby D. And then when I joined, they changed it to the Four Horsemen. See, we're talking about a period from 79 to 88. There's lots of different cliques and crews and configurations. Kenny K didn't come on until around 86. 85, 86 is when Kenny got into the scene. And by then, Ronnie Ron and MC K-Bar and DJ Flame, they was grown with kids and they had to get jobs and they quit doing hip hop. I'm the only last man standing of the Master Blasters. So I joined into the next wave, which was them. I'm still doing it, but now it's a new set of rappers. And then from the Kenny K mob night, we met PBC, Posse Beyond Control. That brought 4 more MCs into it. B Wills, who used to go by MC OB. I forget the whole crew, PBC. Raheem, who else?
Yeah, Raheem, yeah, OB.
Raheem, OB, the dancing cat. Raheem, OB, and I can't think of his name right now.
D-Love.
D-Love, Donnie, exactly. Who had the high top fade like Kid and Play. He chubby now. But yeah, D-Love, and then that became the new squad. And then I went to California, and that's when I met Tupac, Money B. Actually, in the right order, I met DJ Fuse first, then Money B, then Pee Wee, then Tupac, then Big Money Otis, and then Schmoovy Schmoove. Yeah, and that became the West Coast clique.
Go green.
This Go Green? Oh, that's good, because I go green too. Hey, for the record now, Butterfly is a vegetarian, because them animals is my brothers. I don't eat them animals. I go green, baby, and I recycle now. Yup, because to me, we animals. So to eat animal, it's cannibalistic to eat animals to me. I'm an animal. You an animal. Don't think you're not. A human being, we the 4th monkey. You got apes, chimps, gorillas, baboons. What's the Asian ones? Orangutans and humans. We a monkey. You better believe it. We're just the most brainiac one. I don't know if we're the smartest, because we don't eat like we monkeys. The rest of the monkeys eat bananas and leaves all day, and they got that strength till they go all, and they don't have diabetes, they don't got fucking cellulite, you know what I'm saying? They ain't got high blood pressure. We the only monkeys with high blood pressure, and we the only monkeys that got a steady diet of chickens and cows, cheese, chicken, eggs, chicken and cows. That's not part of the monkey diet. And if you want to swing them trees and live to a ripe old age and stay healthy like a monkey, you better eat like a monkey.